Hi guys, my name is Yajra Datatables. I'm a software developer. I will be showing you on how to use Laravel to insert and display data using Yajra Datatable. I'm using PLSUI free template. You can download it online, it is free, and you can use whatever template you want to use. So now this demo is all about adding student and populating the data using Yajra data table. So I have my add student button that once we click it, it directs us to a student page where we have basic information like last name, first name, gender, image, and action whether to delete or to edit. So let's go to our VS Code and let's start coding. So this is my CSS and HTML home page. You can see add student. If you go to our browser, add student. So in this case, I'm going to create a route for add student. Add underscore student. Then you save it. So you go back to our home page, you refresh. You say it will tell you that your route is not defined. So you go back to your VS Code, open your route page, and then I'm going to copy the route controller class. So before we do that, we are going to create a student controller. So let's do PHP addition make controller student controller. Press enter. Controller created successful. So I'll be pasting it in order to save time. So these are our route controller, and then you go up here and you add your student controller. So you save it. So any controller you create, you must make sure you add it at the top of your route. So once that is done, then you go to our class controller that we have created. You can see our student controller has been created. So now we want to create a migration for students. So in other words, we are going to create a model and then attach it to migration. So we say PHP artisan make model. Make model student. If in here and you press enter. Model, you can see the model has been created, and if you go to our migration under your database folder, you will see that a new migration has been created for students. So here we are going to make some adjustments, add some fields so that we can migrate it to the database. Good. In order to save time, I'm going to paste this line of code, which is for last name, first name, gender, and image. So we'll be working with these four fields. If you want to enlarge your student details or add more field or more information, more field, you can do that, but for now we will be focusing on this smaller number of field: last name, first name, gender, and image. Okay, let's save it. So we go to so we type PHP artisan migrate. It has added successfully. So if we go to our database, you can see we refresh my YouTube project. You can see we have student. You can see last name, first name, gender, image, and the timestamp. So let's go back to our project. Let's refresh. You can see just log me out. Let me just log in. Okay, so anytime your Laravel is showing you this error, all you just need to do is just go to your VS Code and type PHP artisan optimize. So the moment you do that, go back to your home page, refresh. Okay, let's create a class for our student. So let's go back to our VS Code. Let's go to our controller, public function add student. So let's save it. So in this case, I'm going to copy to paste the line of code here. You can see, so what I've just done is that if auth ID equals ID and the user ID is valid, our title name is YouTube project, and then we should return this add student dot blade that we are going to create inside the user template folder. So if we come down to our view, this is the folder user template. So we are going to create a new view and name it add underscore student dot blade dot php and save it. So once you save it, I'm going to paste some HTML code here now to save time, but I will leave the source code under the description where you can download it from my GitHub address. Yeah. So what I've just done here is to create a form. Let me adjust so that you can see the full source code. Let me drag it properly. Yeah. So you can see we have our last name, we have our first name, we have gender. Change this one to female. Good, save it. We have image, and we have our submit button, and go back out, I will direct you back to the dashboard homepage. So that's it. So save it, come to your controller, you save it as well. Let's go to our home page and let us refresh. Add students was wrong, which okay. So controller. Yes. Let's try it again. Let's refresh. Let's go to our route. Let's backspace this, and then let's go to our dashboard, change this to URL. Let's save this, press Ctrl C to stop, and then press type PHP artisan optimize. So we start the server once again. Let's go to our web browser, let's refresh. Okay, better. So now it is displaying and everything is okay. So once you click on add student, it's telling us that not found. So let's go back to our code. So our student controller, so it's showing not found. Let's add 2 lines of code here. I'm going to copy and paste. So this is for the hot, for the education, and this for the session. So you can save this. Once you save this, go back to your browser and refresh. So you can see our student page has opened up. So you can see the student form. We have the name, we have the last name, the first name, the gender, and the image, where you can select image. Okay, that's fine. So what next now is to save all this data into our database, and then redirect it to the dashboard. So first of all, we are going to create a controller that we receive all the field all the data that will be inserted in this field, and it will populate them into a database. So let's go back to our VS Code. So yeah, so as you can see, let's change this to route. So I'm going to use route, okay, to save, and then we are using post. multi-path / form for image and inclusion. So let's go to our controller. Let's go to class public function. Say just for students. Let's save it. So in this, in order not to waste our time, I'm going to copy some line of code for this save student. Yeah. So these are validation for the input field: last name, first name, gender, and student image. And then I'll show you how to install Laravel image intervention. So I've already installed it, but you can install it with this line of code with your terminal. Composer require intervention / image. So once you press enter, it's going to install, and after installation you go to your config folder. Inside your config folder here, you click on app, and then you can see you will include intervention image service provider dot class, and then you do the same for alias as well. You input this line of code into the alias class as well. So once you have done that, you save it, and because you are going to use Laravel intervention, you are going to go to the top of your file and then use image, then you save it. So with this line of code, it will be able to accept our image function through Laravel intervention. So with that, what we have done here is our file name is student image. So if we go to our student, our file name here is student image. You can see. So we come back to our controller once again. It said if image equals true, if image with time extension, and inside your public folder I've already created two folders, image and thumbnails. So inside those folders is where your image will be saved into. So you can create your own whatsoever name you want to name the folder, maybe image.class, image student, or whatsoever you want to name it. So in my own case, you can say the image folder and thumbnails. So inside here, all the image will be saved. So now, yes, so in this line, this is where we insert all our input field from the from our view into the database. We have the last name, first name, gender, and image. So what we are telling Laravel is to create or to insert this input field into these tables. Okay, that is that. So for this one to work, well, I'm going to add the model part so that the Laravel can interpret what we are doing here. So that's it. So I'm going to paste these two codes here. You can see we talked about this later. So you can see use app model student. That is, this is the directory where our student model is created. So you can see from our app folder, from there to our what model, and under our model folder we have student. Good. So let's save this as well. So and we said once it is done, it should redirect to our home dashboard and student added successful. So let's go to our route, scroll down, yep, we are going to create a route for save student. So I'm going to paste it. Yeah, you save it. So let's go to our web browser. Let's refresh. Now student will save. So let's go back here. Let's press Ctrl C. Yeah, Ctrl C to minus. Let's go back again. Let's refresh. Press enter, go back again, PHP assistant serve. So we should go back, let's just refresh, click on add student, you can see everything is working. So let's try and then add a new details. Image. Before we save, let me check the code. Let me see. Request e5 students. Okay. Save. Okay, yeah. One more thing before we do that, let's go to our student model and let's add some syllabus. So before that I'm going to paste this line of code here. So we are telling the Laravel model that we just need this for field. We are telling the Laravel model that we need just this for field to be filled with data. So last name, first name, gender, image. So you save it. So we go to our student table, last name, first name, gender, image, and the timestamp. So let's refresh. To be gender, male, image. Let's submit. Voila, you can see student has been added successful. So let's go to our PHP admin. You can see student, last name, first name, male, image, and then his timestamp has been created. So that is that. So let's now display this information using Yajra Datatable. So first thing we are going to do is to come here, copy this line of code. Composer require click here, you paste it. So once you press enter, it's going to install. I have already installed it with this particular Laravel project. So once you install it, just like we did for the image intervention, so click enter, it will install. After installation, you go back, you paste this first line of code in your config.app, your config app file. You go to your config, see under your config folder you have the app, so you paste this one under the service provider class, and the other one data table Yajra table for alias class. So once you have done that, you save and you are good to go. And then you close this one. At the top of your controller, you can see we are using the Yajra Datatable data table. So that's to call the function of the data table for the table that we display in our what's it called, in our dashboard. So we want it to display it. So what we're going to do now is to view. We are going to write a class to call it with Yajra data table. Don't worry if you are getting confused. Don't worry, I will leave the code under the description where you can download it from my GitHub address. So that's that. Okay, to paste this line of code. So this class is for Vue students. So we said if request, because you'll be using Yajra's function, if request Yajra's function data equals student select all, that is from the student table. Yeah. So and it's going to display it using the data table function. So once that is done, you can see. So we have our edit, we have our delete. So you can take your time to type it, or you can download the source code from the description table. So these are the functions for the action part of data table for Yajra. So you space this in your controller. You can see it's fetching from the student table. Student, it's not students table. This table name must correspond with this table name. Okay, that is that. So now we have two buttons here for edit and one for delete. So you save it. So we now go to our dashboard. We are going to paste some JavaScript line of code here. Some JavaScript line of code which I'm going to explain. Yeah. Press enter. So this function is a class student table which we are going to copy and put it in this class. So if you are using this class, if you are using the hashtag, that is, you are going to create an ID at the top. But here we'll be using the class, so just save it. Dot table and for student. So processing through server side through, and our URL we are going to use route view student. This student name copy must tally with the class here. Save it. So, and these are column. These auto increment, this is a line of code for the auto increment serial number 123, yeah, and you can see last name from our database, last name, first name, gender, image. So in order to save time, I have already input all these text so as to save our time, and this part is very crucial for displaying of images using Yajra. So render data type full metadata, your image class responsive round because of uh, the admin template I'm using, but this part is very crucial. So you can see we have initially we created two folder in our public folder, which is image thumbnails. So you can see just input this line of code and put image thumbnails or any folder you have created. It might be image alone, it might be another thing based on the image name. Input it here plus data, and the height you can specify, but here I'm using 50. So that is that. So and you complete it here. Data action, name action, audible false, searchable false. That's all. You close your JavaScript and you save it. So once you save it, everything is perfect from here. So let's go back to our dashboard and let's us refresh. Route view not defined. So let's go to our route and let's input the route for view students. So I'm pasting it. Yeah, so you can see this is the class view students. So once you have saved it, let's go back to our browser. Let's refresh. Not defined. Okay. Go back to in order for us to see the data using Yajra, we are going to include this jQuery files and Ajax file, so which I'm going to paste in our CSS header. So let's go to our CSS. Yep. Okay, here I'm going to paste some line of code. So here I'm going to paste this. Here I'm going to paste. You can see all this CDN. You can get it online. Yajra jQuery files, Bootstrap, data table. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 line link are very important. So you can take your time to insert them, or you can download or copy the CDN online from Google or any blogs on the internet. So you paste them. They are very key because they will help you to fetch using jQuery the data from the database. So once you have implemented this line of code, once you have copied them, you save it. So you go back to your web browser again, you refresh. Voila, you can see our database has been our details has been displayed. You can see it is searchable. You can do live search, and then there's pagination, our edit button and our delete button that we created here in our controller. You can see they are all displaying. So everything is perfect from here. So let's go to our browser. Let's add one more details. Let me use added John. Let me use mail. Let me use another image. Let me submit. You can see it has been added. So if it's John, let's tag John. You can see John is displaying. So that is that. So once again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. So you can download the source code from the description if you need the source code, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In the next tutorial, I'll be showing you on how to edit this information using bootstrap model and how to save it. Thanks and God bless.